give me a couple of minutes to just break down some of the lies that was said at the presser that the Republicans had when they were talking about shutting down the government and trying to blame Democrats. First, let me just say, he started out with a lie.
Thank you, Vice President Vance. I want to thank the President as well. They showed strong leadership today. They invited the 4 leaders over here. But
that was the lie. He did not invite all of them over there. He only invited the Democrats over there. It was Mike Johnson and the Vice President and the Senate leader that said, hey, we need to be in that room too, because they knew Donald Trump would agree with something. What was coming along with Trump is, if you're the last person in the room with him, he will agree with you. So you have to be the last one or the last voice or whatever in the room. Everybody in D.C. knows that. So when it was said that he was going to meet with the Democrats, the MAGA party said, you're not going to meet with them unless we're there. So that was a lie, just starting off.
The problem is that Chuck Schumer and Leader Jeffries refused to acknowledge the simple facts. Let's review what the simple facts are.
And here's the big lie. I'm going to let him talk for about a minute, and I want you to hear him explain the process. And then I'm going to hit you with the fact.
By way of review, the House is getting back to the way the regular appropriations process is supposed to work. 12 separate appropriations bills passed through the House Appropriations Committee, 3 off the floor. The Senate doing their work as well. All this in bipartisan fashion, by the way. They passed 3 bills in the Senate. Those bills don't match up exactly. So for the first time in years, since 2019, you have a conference committee that is being constituted between the House and the Senate. This is the way a bill becomes a law. They work out the differences.
Okay, that wasn't a minute. It was about 25 seconds. Still, he lied. He told the truth when he said that they normally used to pass those bills in 12 separate bills. I know you guys have heard about an omnibus bill. Well, for a while, Democrats and Republicans have been passing omnibus bills, taking all 12 budget bills, putting them in one big omnibus and voting. That's why the process is so difficult, because it's one big bill that people, not the beautiful bill, but it's one big bill that they're voting on instead of 12 individual packages, because you can negotiate in 12 individual packages. But I digress. What happened was they cut the bills up in 12 individual bills. The House by themselves passed 3. It went to the Senate. The Senate passed 3 that were different than what the House passed. What does that tell you? The House is MAGA. The Senate is MAGA. The Democrats are not going to agree to the bullshit that they're trying to pass. So they did a reconciliation bill to get past the cloture vote. So that's what the Republicans did. So the House passed their bill because they got the 218 that they need to pass. They didn't need Democrats. The Senate is a different animal. They had to go through another process, and they passed a different bill. Those bills don't match. That was the truth. But the lie was he's expecting the Democrats to help him out. No, you got the House and the Senate. You control both. So if the bills don't match, that's on MAGA.
All this is happening in bipartisan fashion. The problem is we've run out of clock. September 30th is the end of the fiscal year, so we need a little more time.
But he didn't tell you why. The reason why they ran out of time is because of the Epstein files. They took an extra 2-3 days, I want to say a full week off in July, and they took all of August, and they took about 2 or 3 weeks in September on vacation, not negotiating. They could have did this shit back in March, April, May, June. They chose not to. And when they did do it, when they did meet, because MAGA controlled both houses, they are trying to bully the Democrats into doing what they want. And now, for the first time, Democrats are not listening to MAGA because they're listening to their constituents. And their constituents saying, if you want the House in 2026, if you want the Senate in 2026, you better fucking listen to us and not listen to them. So Democrats are saying, no, we want what we want. They're not negotiating. They're saying, give us what we want and screw what you want.
They're trying to bring in extraneous issues. They issued a counter proposal. You should go take a look at what they requested. $1.5 trillion in new spending that is unrelated to the ongoing appropriations process.
The $1.5 trillion is not new spending. It's the old spending that they want them to put back. I want you to hear what the Democrats are asking for with the $1.5 trillion. I want you to hear. He's going to lie, and I'm going to tell you the truth.
They wanted to, as you said, restore taxpayer-funded benefits, okay? Hard-working taxpayers in America. They want to take your funds and give that for benefits to illegal aliens. They want to restore that because we got rid of it.
Illegal immigrants cannot get Medicaid and Medicare. The $1 trillion is what they took, what Republicans took out of that big bill. They took that out of Medicaid and Medicare. Democrats want them to put it back. They don't want to put it back. He just told you. Trying to make it seem like it's for illegal immigrants. It's not. It's the money that they stole from you to give to the richest people in this country. That's what the $1 trillion is for. Let's go to the 500 million.
They want to prop up left-leaning media outlets. 500 million they threw in on top of that.
The 500 million, that's for NPR and PBS. That's for Big Bird and Sesame Street. They don't want to give you Big Bird anymore.
During the Biden administration, there were 13 threatened shutdowns. The Republicans in the minority did the right thing. We kept the government open. We're simply asking for the Democrats to do the same.
Every last threat to a government shutdown, Democrats went and negotiated in good faith with the Republican Party to keep the government open. The Republican Party, just like the Democrats now, would not let them get the 60 votes to get through cloture to pass an actual budget. So we kept doing continuing resolutions. In order to get those passed, we would go sit down, not we, but Democrats would sit down with Maga. Maga would agree to extend it to a certain time, let them do more negotiating, and the government stayed open. That's what pissed off Democrats in the last election, because Democrats kept capitulating to Maga to keep the government open and not give Democrats what they voted for. That's what they did. Democrats negotiated and kept the stuff that Republicans wanted in the bill and didn't do a rescission package later. That's the difference here. I know this was a long time. I said give me a few minutes, and God damn it, you gave me a few minutes. So if you're sitting on the toilet, go ahead and finish up what you're doing. If you're in your room, go ahead and get out the bed and shake your legs a little bit. I appreciate you sticking around. And let me know. What do you think?